Jim. As a Gen Xer, he seems to have a pretty much an ideal handle on the acronym-driven language of the Gen Y children over here. So, Kiran Iyer, his second speaker for the Affirmative, and I have 6 Facebook friends in common, including the oddly named Gemma Crowder-Kate Buckley. He plays indoor cricket for Julian Campbell, apparently, and it would appear last time his photo taken with attractive white girls. I'm reliably informed he got on the Facebook 3 years after all of his friends. So when he's not calling up Richard Mercer's love song dedications on Mix FM, he is winning group competitions and debating competitions all over the globe. Kiran recently completed a 2-month internship with United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who is Hillary Rodham Clinton's replacement. So to argue that social media is indeed free speech gone mad, fresh from the home of free speech, please welcome Kiran Iyer.
As Martin Luther King famously once said, Twitter is a lame waste of time. Now, I've been trying to work out how to rebut Shivani's speech, but I just couldn't work out the letters of the acronym, like A, B, D, L, E, spell something. But what I could get was 2 points. Firstly, she said that social media is crucial in promoting public debate. And she likened it to a cocktail party, where you get to have all the cool cats there, Justin Bieber and Kim Kardashian and Lady Gaga. To me, that's the worst cocktail party ever. That's a cocktail party you take the finger food and run. These are the kind of people who shouldn't be monopolizing the public debate. And then we heard that Facebook is useful for democratic purposes, for helping to lead things like the Arab Spring. Well, what we've argued is that more often than not, social media is actually a tool of repression. And the reason for that is it's pretty easy for a repressive regime to track someone down once they've posted on their Facebook, hey guys, here's where the revolutionary meeting's going to be. Or tweet, this is where we're going to be at this time for this particular demonstration. That's exactly what happened in Iran. That's why social media can often have really counterproductive consequences. But I have 2 arguments, which will mainly centre on funny things I found on Twitter over the last couple of days. So firstly, social media is a distraction from the real purpose of free speech, which is informed public debate. So why do we care about free speech in the first place? It's because a free discussion about ideas is an essential condition for democracy. However, we believe that the quality of that discussion matters in determining how important free speech is to a democracy. Freedom of speech, in our view, is a means to an end. The type of speech you get through social media undermines the purpose of free speech. Important discussion gets crowded out, and the quantity of posts on Twitter about an issue substitutes for actual reasoned discussion. So let's look at an example. So recently, after the death of Osama bin Laden, President Obama delivered an important, somber, reflective speech discussing the impact of the 9/11 attacks on the victims. Here's a sample of some of the carefully crafted Twitter responses to Osama's death. So example 1. If you watch Osama bin Laden's life backwards, it's about an ocean zombie who builds skyscrapers out of aeroplanes. It's perfect. Example 2. 1 Arab down, one Arab left. That's right, Obama, you're next. Example 3. Who's this Osama bin Laden guy anyway? Example 4. See what happens when you let gays into the military? And finally, my favourite example, example 5. They should have captured Osama bin Laden alive and made him continually go through airport security for the rest of his life. So these types of posts may be funny, but they distract from the real implications of Osama's death. And we see the same phenomenon with other important issues. So right now, there should be a rational and considered debate about whether Australia should keep its presence in Afghanistan. Instead, the entire military media cycle is consumed by reporting that members of the Australian military label Afghans on their Facebook as doom coons, ragheads, and smelly locals. That's the kind of thing which is consuming the public debate. Social media also provides the kind of platform which means that the wrong people get too much airtime. So you might think that someone consequential, like Barack Obama, is the most followed person on Twitter. Instead, Justin Bieber has 2 million more followers than Obama. I mean, this may be because I hate Justin Bieber, but there's something wrong with the world when he's more popular than the coolest man alive. What this also means is that people are getting their news from unreliable sources. So all of Paris Hilton, Perez Hilton, whoever that is, and American Idol host Ryan Seacrest are more popular than the New York Times Twitter feed. So in an era where your news feed is more important than the real news, something is going wrong. For democracy to really work, access to quality information is essential. And social media takes up so much time that that kind of information gets lost. Secondly, it is impossible to trust what is said on social media. We believe that the authenticity of speech matters. For people to make judgments about speech, it is necessary to have credible information about who is actually making that speech. It's just impossible to rely on social media sites like Twitter for 2 reasons. Firstly, because many of the comments are anonymous, but secondly, because even when a name is attached, they may have been hijacked or Twitter-jacked, as the phrase goes. So, the examples include in the wake of the BP oil spill, BP allegedly tweeted, "Catastrophe is a strong word. Let's all agree to call it a whoopsie-daisy." So George Bush allegedly tweeted on the Queen's birthday, "She's looking good for 110 years old, however old she is." I mean, it shows how much credibility George Bush has that message is actually believed by millions of people around the world. We've also had numerous fake death tweets. So apparently in 2010, Harrison Ford fell off his yacht and died. Jeff Goldblum fell off a cliff and died. Matt Damon died in either a plane crash or a car crash, depending on which Twitter feed you follow. That's the reliability of the information that people are getting. And even our distinguished opposition has been hijacked by the Twitter jackers. So we did a little bit of Twitter stalking in preparation for this debate. What we found is Liberty Sanger in the opposition apparently posted on her Twitter, OMG, capital letters. I forgot to turn off the lights for Earth Hour as glued to New South Wales election coverage. Now we all know that it was far too eloquent to have actually used the phrase OMG. Right? And this is the kind of thing you get on Twitter. I mean, in the same way, Justice Lex Lasry's fan page has been hijacked to suggest that he's not actually Lex Luthor, Superman's nemesis, but is a Supreme Court justice. Like, it just never ends. What's worse is that politicians and businesses make clumsy attempts to use Twitter for their own benefits. So Prime Minister Gillard tweeted recently, "A message for people smugglers and those they try to exploit. If you get in a boat, you risk ending up in Malaysia at the end of the queue." Now, I'm not sure how many Indonesian people smugglers are followers of JGO on Twitter, but I question the effectiveness of that kind of message. I mean, you also saw fashion designer Kenneth Cole, who recently tweeted, "Millions are in uproar in Cairo. Rumour is they heard our new spring collection is now available online." So the material posted on Twitter is often not credible, and when it is credible, it is often incredibly insignificant. So in conclusion, what I've told you is that social media actually undermines quality discourse, which undermines the entire purpose of free speech. And the speech that you see on social media simply is incredible. Thank you.